Here is your full YouTube script. You just spent 4 years of your life studying. You took on tens of thousands of dollars in student loans. You stayed up until 3 in the morning finishing papers and projects. You walked across that stage, grabbed your diploma, and felt like the future was finally yours. And now you are sending out application after application, and nobody is calling back. If that sounds like you or someone you love, what I am about to share with you in the next few minutes is exactly what you need to hear right now. Because the job market in 2026 is unlike anything this generation has ever seen before, and most new graduates have absolutely no idea what they are actually up against. Welcome back, and if you are new here, subscribe right now and ring that bell because this channel covers the real, unfiltered truth about what is happening in the world today, the stuff that directly affects your life and your future. Today we are going deep into the 2026 job market crisis for new graduates. We are going to talk about what is actually happening out there, why it is happening, what mistakes are costing graduates their shot, and most importantly, the specific strategies that are actually working right now. Stay until the end because the tips in the second half of this video could genuinely change the direction of your career. Let us start with the headline because it is a shocking one. A survey by the National Association of Colleges and Employers has predicted that 2026 would be the worst job market for new graduates since the beginning of the pandemic. Bloomberg. The worst since the pandemic. Think about what that means. The graduates of 2020 were entering a world that was shutting down. Offices were closed. Hiring had frozen. People were scared. And now, in 2026, with all the recovery that happened in the years between, the job market for new graduates has slid back down to that same level of difficulty. That is not a minor setback. That is a full-blown crisis that millions of young people are walking into right now, and most of them were never warned. Unemployment for 22 to 27-year-old bachelor's degree holders has risen to about 5.6%, which is higher than the national average for all workers. Entrepreneur, let that land for a second. The people who are supposed to be the most prepared, the college graduates, the ones who followed all the advice, got the degree, did what they were told, are now experiencing unemployment at a higher rate than the general working population. Something is deeply wrong with that picture. And the competition for whatever jobs do exist has become absolutely brutal. Full-time job postings dropped 16% year over year, while applications per job simultaneously spiked by 26%, intensifying competition for each opening. Entrepreneur. So there are fewer jobs available, and more people are fighting over each one. If you are sending out applications and getting nothing back, it is not because something is wrong with you. The math itself is working against you right now. But here is the part that really needs to sink in. New graduates comprise just 7% of new hires in 2024, down 25% from 2023. Entrepreneur employers are actively choosing not to hire fresh out-of-school candidates. They want experience. They want people who can deliver results from day one. They are not interested in training someone up from scratch the way they used to be, and that creates a nightmare scenario. How do you get experience if no one will give you the chance to get experience in the first place? And then there is the issue that every single graduating student right now is terrified about. Artificial intelligence. 89% of 2026 graduates are worried that AI could replace entry-level roles, up from 64% just last year. Latino Times. That number jumped 25 percentage points in a single year. The fear is spreading fast, and honestly, it is not entirely without reason. The CEO of Anthropic predicted last year that AI could wipe out half of entry-level white-collar positions by 2030. Entrepreneur research, drafting, data entry, analysis, the tasks that used to define what a junior employee did every day. Many of those tasks can now be completed by an AI tool in minutes. Companies are asking themselves why they need to hire and train an entry-level analyst when a software tool can do much of the same work instantly and without a salary. Now, here is something that most people are not fully understanding about why this is happening. It is not just AI. There is a specific economic condition that economists are calling the low-hire, low-fire environment, and it is quietly responsible for much of the pain new graduates are feeling. Fewer people are leaving their jobs, so there is not the same level of attrition and turnover that would normally create room for new hires. It is very hard for business leaders to make decisions right now, given policy uncertainty, inflation concerns, and gas prices. So hiring has stalled. NPR. When experienced employees stay put, the entry-level job openings they used to create by moving up disappear. The conveyor belt that used to push new graduates into their first roles has slowed down dramatically. And here is something that should make every graduating student genuinely angry. By the end of last year, underemployment of recent college graduates reached almost 43%. Bloomberg. Nearly half of new graduates who did find jobs ended up in roles that did not even require a college degree. You spent years and a fortune on an education, and you are working a job that did not require any of it. That is the quiet crisis happening beneath the surface of the headline unemployment numbers. It is not just that some graduates cannot find work, it is that millions of others are finding work that does not match their education, their expectations, or their debt load. And speaking of debt, here is another layer to this that is putting graduates in a genuinely dangerous financial position. For young people early in their career, unemployment can be particularly harsh. To be eligible for unemployment benefits, applicants usually need to have 4 quarters of earnings under their belt. Young adults are also less likely to have safety nets such as emergency savings, CNBC. So if you graduate and cannot find a job quickly, you cannot even access the same basic financial support that an older worker could. You are on your own, with loan payments coming due and no income coming in. Now let us shift gears, because this video is not just about the problem, it is about what you actually do when the system you were told would work for you suddenly does not. And the truth is, there are specific, concrete things that graduates who are landing jobs right now are doing differently from everyone else. Let me break them down for you. The first thing is understanding how your resume is actually being read. Most graduates are still submitting resumes the same way they were told to in a career seminar 3 years ago. And that approach is now getting their applications rejected before a human being ever looks at them. AI screening tools, also known as applicant tracking systems, scan resumes for keywords, formatting, and relevance. To beat them, you need to mirror the exact phrases and skills listed in the job posting. TechEdu Byte. If the job description says project management experience, your resume needs to say exactly that, not led team initiatives or coordinated efforts. The machine is matching words, and if your words do not match, you are gone. A standard resume typically scores between 30 and 40 out of 100 on an initial ATS scan. After applying AI-assisted adjustments, that score often improves to the 60 to 70 range. By using a dedicated resume optimization tool, candidates usually achieve scores of 80 to 90 and above, significantly improving their chances of securing an interview. Ascend Careers. Free tools like JobScan or Teal can analyze your resume against a specific job description and tell you exactly where the gaps are. Use them for every single application. The second thing that separates the graduates who are finding jobs from the ones who are not is that they have stopped waiting for jobs to appear and started going after companies directly. The best job hunting approach in 2026 focuses on proactive outreach. Stop waiting for perfect postings to appear. Research companies you want to work for and reach out to hiring managers directly. Nesco Resource. This feels uncomfortable. Most graduates have never done it, but here is why it works. When a job gets posted publicly, it is immediately flooded with applications. Some roles receive hundreds of submissions within the first 48 hours. When you reach out before a job is even posted, you are the only person in the room. You become a known name when the position opens up. You are no longer competing against a crowd, you are being remembered before the race even starts. The third thing is LinkedIn, and not just having a profile, actually using it like the powerful tool it is. Optimize your LinkedIn profile with a professional photo, a compelling headline, and fill out your summary with keywords related to your industry. Engage with industry content, comment on posts, share articles, and join relevant groups. This increases your visibility and shows you are active in your field. TechEdu Byte recruiters are using LinkedIn to find candidates before they post jobs publicly. If your profile is incomplete or inactive, you are invisible to people who would otherwise reach out to you. Your LinkedIn is your digital handshake. It needs to be strong, current, and keyword-rich. The fourth thing is one that graduates consistently underestimate to their own detriment, and that is networking. Not the awkward, stiff version of networking where you hand someone a business card at an event. Real, human networking. Effective networking includes scheduling 15-minute coffee chats with professionals in your field, joining professional groups, and participating in meaningful conversations. Nesco Resource. The data behind this is not subtle. Research consistently shows that networking accounts for 70% of successful entry-level hires. The job you want may already exist inside someone's LinkedIn connections, and the only thing standing between you and it is a conversation that has not happened yet. Send the message, request the call. Most professionals are more willing to help than you think. The fifth thing is skills, and this is where things get really interesting. Skills-based hiring dominates 2026, with 72% of employers now prioritizing what candidates can do over credentials. Nesco Resource. Your degree gets you in the door. What you can actually do gets you the job. This is why the graduates who are winning right now are the ones showing their work. They have portfolios, they have completed real projects during their studies, they have freelanced, even for small amounts, just to prove they can deliver. Whether it is a GitHub repository full of code, a blog that demonstrates subject matter knowledge, or a short-term freelance project for a local business, showing is always more powerful than telling. The sixth thing is targeting the right industries. Not every sector is slowing down right now. Healthcare returned to its role as a reliable engine of job growth, adding 76,000 jobs in March alone. Construction added 26,000, and transportation and warehousing added 21,000. Latino Times. Meanwhile, data from LinkedIn shows growth in roles like business development and technical positions supporting AI systems, with early career professionals stepping into roles such as AI engineers and adjacent fields. Yardi Cube. If your degree is in a sector that is currently oversaturated, you do not have to abandon your training, but you may need to consider lateral moves into growing industries that value your transferable skills. The graduates who are being rigid about which exact job they want in which exact industry are the ones who are still searching 6 months after graduation. The ones who stay flexible and open-minded are finding their footing much faster. The seventh thing, and this one is perhaps the most important of all right now, is AI literacy. You do not need to be a software engineer. You do not need to know how to build an AI model. But you absolutely need to know how to use AI tools in your daily work. Skills such as critical thinking, problem-solving, communication, and teamwork are highly sought after, as are many technical skills in the areas of AI and data analytics. These should be prominently featured on your resume. Ascend careers. If you can walk into an interview and say you have been using AI tools to analyze data, automate repetitive tasks, draft and edit content, and improve your overall workflow, you sound like someone who will immediately add value. Most of your competition is not doing this yet. It is a differentiator that is available to literally everyone, and most people are still sleeping on it. And here is a hard truth that nobody in your college career center is going to tell you. In 2026, graduates are likely to find jobs. It is just going to take longer, and they may not get the same salaries they were expecting 2 years ago. NPR. That is not defeat. That is reality. And accepting reality gives you power that denial does not. The graduates who are adjusting their timelines, managing their expectations, being willing to start in adjacent roles, and continuing to build skills while they search. Those are the graduates who are building real momentum right now. The job market is testing you before your career even officially starts. It is asking you whether you can adapt, whether you can think creatively, and whether you can stay disciplined when the easy path does not exist. The ones who pass that test, the ones who build their skills, use their networks, customize every application, and go after companies directly instead of just hitting apply and hoping, those are the ones who are going to look back on this season not as a failure, but as the moment that made them sharper, tougher, and better prepared than anyone who had it easy. If this video helped you or someone you know who is in the middle of a job search right now, please hit the like button. It only takes a second and it helps more graduates find this information when they desperately need it. Share this with your friends who are graduating this spring, with your family members who are job hunting, with anyone who needs to hear that there is a strategy and it does work if you apply it consistently. Subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications because we cover the real stories behind the headlines every single week. And drop a comment below. Tell me what field you are graduating in, how your job search is going, or what tip from today you are going to use first. I read every single comment. We will see you in the next one.